Um, Dear Simon, sometimes I see astral spiders most of the time in the morning, but I also see them when I wake up at night and they hang above my head like on a wire. The
Mm.
spider at night is also bigger. I also see smoke shadows and normal shadows. Do you know what this all means?
Um, Lots and lots of psychic people are now seeing these spiders. Generally, they're reported as running up the wall just as you wake up. Occasionally, you might see a mouse, but it's not really a mouse. Also hanging from the ceiling or actually on the ceiling. Various people have described them either moving very naturally or very robotically, but in all instances, people report them moving very quickly. And when your human brain pattern changes, when you go from sleep, partial sleep, and then you wake up, these things can detect that. And what they're trying to do is get away as quickly as possible and not be identified. They take the shape of a spider because the arms of the spider are used to interfere with a number of processes. In other words, in the Doctor Who, one of the last, I've talked about it before, in the last Doctor Who films with John Pertwee, he has to regenerate, and he's battling some spiders. Now, these spiders are made to look very organic, but the reality is that they are meant to be AI, and they attach to people's backs. And I know from reasonably personal experience of people close to me that they've had AI spiders attached, and they use their arms to attach to the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. Now, if you're seeing spiders on the wall and the ceiling, please don't be alarmed in that sense. I think they're spying on you. Those people who are very psychic are seeing these things, which probably have always been there, but we're only seeing them in large numbers now because the human consciousness is evolving beyond these creatures' capability in many ways to cloak themselves. That's why so many pedophiles are being discovered, because human consciousness is outwitting the evil people. They just cannot hide the truth from good people. And so you are seeing spiders which probably for generations have been there. All right, what I would suggest that you do is that you practice some protection before you go to bed at night. Think about an energy field around yourself. Think about if you're going to do astral traveling or out-of-body experiences, make sure that you do as much to protect yourself as you can. Clearly, if you have these entities around you, then they're interested in you.
These guys eat electromagnetic frequency. So they come into the auric sphere and they start chomping on your electromagnetism. This can be a human, this can be an animal. These guys infest everything. Just think of a spider infestation, and there you go. Now, there are some ways that they come in that are more common than not. For example, nighttime is a common time to find these creatures showing up in your electromagnetic field, maybe seeing them in your room, feeling them on your person. This is twofold. One reason is because obviously, like a lot of these entities and beings, we're more vulnerable at night, so we're easier pickings for them, right? We're not fully conscious, we're asleep, we don't know what's going on, so of course they're going to utilize that timing. The second reasoning is because when we're sleeping, obviously we're moving through different cycles of REM, and our brain waves are shifting through a gamut of frequential bandwidth. And these spiders consume electromagnetic frequency. So it's very fulfilling for them to have a variety of options when it comes to the range of frequency that they may want to chomp down. And so if these electromagnetic spiders hang around for your entire sleep cycle, they can access a wide range of frequency and pick and choose what they prefer, or do a little appetizer tasting, if you will. Now, this is why it may be more common for you to see, feel, even crawling on you, these spiders, or have a sense, you're clear knowing that they're coming in at nighttime. I would advise, if you can, not to panic. I know that can be a very annoying statement, right? And especially if you're somebody who panics when you see physical spiders and little creepy crawlers, this is going to be very difficult for you, because sometimes the etheric seems and appears even more scary than the physical, right? Because there's a mysterious element to this. There's that piece of unknown and unsurety that we might guess, question, second guess ourselves if this is what's happening or not. But when you spike the panic and the fear and the trigger, that just gives them kind of a big boost of your loosh energy that they want to eat off of. It gives them more access to hook in even further. So maybe effort to utilize some practical application here. You might feel yourself getting ramped up, but you can just tell yourself, practically speaking, it's safer for you to calm down and register. They can't kill you, you know, they're here to just start to siphon slowly, right? So they're pests, they're annoying. There is a way to cleanse and clear them out.
They contacted me again. There was an arachnid that contacted me before I left for Brazil. And remember I told you years ago why I stopped listening to Savaggio music online? It was because one time I was listening, you know, to like the Savaggio, like, the Savaggio like tunes, or, you know, like frequency videos. And then I woke up with an arachnid on my ceiling, like crawling upside down, and it freaked me the freak out. Like I freaked out, like she was crawling on the ceiling upside down. And I haven't ever, like, if you ever had any arachnophobia, this is one of those things you do not want to listen to. So I got to give you that, and warn anyone who's coming in here too, because I don't want them to blame me for their nightmares and what I'm going to share, because this is a fact. Because she contacted me again here, and she contacted me with some of her offspring, and this isn't a good video. I have to share it with you because I have to give you the warning, but I don't want to share it because I didn't want to share it with you before I left for Brazil. I shared it with the Zombies because, you know, we talk at night and what have you, but this one is gonna bother you. So when I used to listen to Savaggio, I had that one incident with the arachnid, and it's a female, and she was on the ceiling when I woke up. And then I realized that some of the Savaggio frequencies online are embedded with frequencies that bring in certain types of beings. And I stopped listening to them totally. Like I didn't care whether it was just one or, listen, if I see something like that show up and I know that I'm listening to this, I stopped. So I think many of you remember that. Some of you are part of my platform for a long time. You already know. Okay. So before I left for Brazil, and please give the warning. See, the MP3s are going to stop. The MP3s are going to try to stop me from giving you this message. Let me let you know that we're in a video game and they're going to try to stop me. But I got to tell you this because she came again last night, and she came with her children, like her offspring. It's really creepy. So before I left for Brazil, she came. And this arachnid, Empress Queen, has taken credit for creating the World Wide Web. Listen, y'all, it's gonna bug you out, literally. That's kind of like isn't that kind of bug you out? Go figure. I told you the insectilians are the ones responsible for a lot of things. Y'all didn't listen. That's why they demonize the reptiles, because reptiles eat bugs. Okay, I don't want to go off topic. So before I left, she was the one who she was the one who told me she took credit for creating the World Wide Web. And she's part of the AI system. It's like a synonymous thing. We think of AI as something more artificial or more mechanical or electric. No. This AI is sentient. A lot of the AI, not the AI that's created from man. I'm talking about the AI that was pure with creation. She took credit for creating the World Wide Web, y'all. The World Wide Web was created to catch humanity, mankind. It was meant to catch you in her web, okay? But it gets nefarious, y'all. So, you know, she let me know. I let the Zombies know. It was kind of, I mean, she wasn't trying to hurt me. She was just relishing in her accomplishment. So when I left for Brazil, I was like, it is what it is. Now that I'm here, and then we had a conversation last night, and then Tani came on, and then Em had always brought this up, and we're talking about the squidlers inside of the cucaracha shot. Y'all, they aren't squid, they are spiders. They are spiders, y'all. They're arachnids. The insectilians are taking over. They put them in the cucaracha shot. They seeded them in the cucaracha shot. So when you take the cucaracha shot, oh my God. The graphene was to lay their eggs in. That's why we have graphene in everything. The graphene helps for them to gestate their eggs. So they require for your body to have a lot of graphene. So when they inject you with the cucaracha shot and the spider, it's going to lay its eggs in you. It lays its eggs, and the graphene helps to allow it to gestate. And when her offspring hatch, they feed off of the entire body. I can't. Yo, that's why they're bringing out the movie Venom. Y'all, listen, they're toying with your mind. This is the end game, y'all. This is what Dr. Delbert Blair was talking about. He said that at the end of the cycle, right when everything's popping off at the end, they're going to feast on people's flesh. This is what he was freaking talking about. They came last night. I don't like things like that coming. Listen, arachnids are not, listen, I'm wearing the glasses because that's how they see us, with like multitude of us. The cucaracha shot has the squigglers in it, and I thought it was squid. No, it's a spider. And it's gonna lay its eggs in people. And when they hatch, they're gonna feed on the inside of the body until it's nothing. I can't make this up. They came last night. I don't want to see things like that in my house. I did, we had a conversation about it, and maybe that led to the receptivity. And Brazil doesn't have the same kind of quantified protection of cucaracha. Like Willy Wonkas aren't trying to stop you from getting contact here. It's a free-for-all over here. Anybody in Brazil knows UFOs, anything that's here, it will contact you. They came last night, and she had a whole bunch of little spiders all over the walls, y'all. I was contacted by the Empress, the Insectilian Arachnid Queen. She was brought here for the end times. This is the end game, y'all. They're impregnating mankind. They're impregnating it. I'm so grossed out right now. I actually want to leave. I actually want to be off world at this point. They were all on my walls. You have contact and you want to see things. That's why I tell y'all, sometimes you don't want to see things like this. Sometimes you aren't able to unsee it again. I was contacted by the Insectilian Queen, the same one that contacted me before Brazil. But this one, she just let me know that that's what she does. She created the World Wide Web to get everybody caught in it. And everybody's caught in the web. That's why it was created. It was literally a web. Spider-Man, Venom, they're toying with your consciousness. The movie Venom's coming out. I think somebody said it's out already. I don't know if it's out. When when like the black goo takes over, that's the graphene, y'all. Listen, I don't know if you've ever woke up. I had a sea star who contacted me years ago who had the little mechanical spiders all over her wall, and she contacted me and said, what the heck is this? I don't know what these are. And I was like, yeah, it's some sort of AI system. But I thought AI was more like, to be honest, like I thought AI was something more artificial, like artificial intelligence or artificial, but it is, no. It exists, but there's a sentient version of it. The bootleg version that they created is like, back engineering something, like copying something and trying to make their own version of it. No, there's something that was here with creation, that AI system, and it literally brought her for the feast. It's bringing her to feast on the beings because everybody, remember, I told you the experiment is over. It's a wrap. Like, this planet is being cleared, but they're not just clearing it. Remember, like you have, and anybody who's a nature person or is big into, watching nature, nature movies and Discovery, that nature has a way of clearing off things. Like you don't see corpses on the street because you have buzzards and vultures that will consume it, or ants will eat it. So you always have a way of clearing something off. This is their way of clearing off bodies off of the planet by just basically feeding off of all of them. So I thought the experiment was like, oh, you know, people are going to just, you know, be taken out. Or, no. They are. But they're going to be eaten from inside out. I'm sorry. I don't want to tell you these things. I don't, listen. Could you imagine spiders all over your wall when you wake up and you see her again? It's the creepiest creature I've ever seen. I've seen reptilians, I've seen other beings, but this takes the cake, y'all. If you got you can have arachnophobia. You can. When you see a being that is partially like, it's not humanoid, but it has a consciousness, and it's a spider. And it's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is all kinds of, making it look all, you know, glorious and acceptable. No. This is, I don't even wish this on my worst enemy. I really don't. And then you see a whole bunch of little ones. So I didn't know if they were going to eat me. I didn't feel that way, but I was like, why are you bringing the posse? Like, why are you bringing them in my house? I got my children in the house. You know, I'm thinking in my mind, and she could read your thoughts. So it doesn't even matter. You know, you think that you're hiding your mind. These beings are extraterrestrial, interterrestrials. You haven't any way to hide your thoughts. She's reading my mind as I'm thinking it. And she basically said, in my mind, is that there isn't any harm that will come to you. You're a messenger. She felt I was appropriate for the message.